Hi, I'm Dave Thaumavore. Welcome to the general tutorial for the Quest Portal Virtual Tabletop. In this video, we're going to go over all the basic functions of the interface, and I'll leave links below to where you can create a free account, sign up for a pro account, read the FAQ, and join their Discord server. Let's go ahead and get started. Create a free account. Creating a campaign is the place where you'd want to start with Quest Portal, but the first thing you have to do is create a free account. Go to questportal.com and click the sign up button to do that. You can sign in with Google, Apple, or create a unique email and password combination here. Then click sign up. It will then ask you to come up with a username. It can't contain any capital letters or symbols, but you can change it later, so don't sweat this step too much. After you've typed in a unique name, click next. It will then ask you to upload a profile picture. You can always skip this or do it later. Finally, there's a quick question about if you're planning to use Quest Portal as a GM, player, or if you're not sure yet. In our case, we're going to be using it as a GM, so I'll select that and click Finish Up. As soon as you do that, you'll get an email request to confirm your email address. You'll just open that email and click the verification link. That link should actually take you to the main dashboard of Quest Portal, now as an official account holder. If it doesn't, just navigate to questportal.com, and if you don't see this screen, then click Login at the top right of the screen and follow through with the login credentials that you established a minute ago. Create a campaign. Now, to create a game session in Quest Portal, you have to create a so-called campaign. On the main dashboard, you will click on the Create Campaign button. A brand new campaign page will look something like this. Campaign name and graphics. You don't have to give it an icon or a background, but if you want to, click on the icon at the top and pick a graphic that will serve as the campaign icon. Then to change the campaign banner, go to the bottom right of the banner and click the Change Cover button and select the graphic you want for that. You can then click the Reposition button and then drag the banner to frame it how you like. Then remember to click Save Position here on the bottom right. Now for the most important part, naming your campaign. For that, you just click on the existing name and type in the name of your campaign. Below that, you can type in a description of the campaign. Inviting and removing players. The next most important step is to invite players. To do that, you click on the Invite Players button, which will bring up this form. You can click Copy Link and send that link to your players for them to click through and join. Or you can instantly search through all existing Quest Portal usernames by typing in part or all of the name. Once you find the name, you can click on it to add it to the invite list. You can add multiple invitees this way and then just send out one invite to all of them. Pending invites will be shown here in the center of the campaign dashboard. Anytime after you send the invite, you can then click the three dots and remove the player if you need to. As a player, you will see the invite show up in your Portal Quest account as a notification. Click on the bell icon in the top right after logging in, then click the Accept button to join the campaign. Campaign settings. The next thing you'll want to do is set the game's internal settings, such as the game system, character sheet template, etc. To do that, make sure that your campaign is open by clicking on it on the left here, then click on the down arrow next to the icon on the top left. From there, select Campaign Settings. At the top, you can use the field as a drop-down menu or as a search bar to find the game that you want. There are many dozens to choose from. Whichever system you choose will affect the Quest Portal Assistant's thought process as well as the library of available content. Then you will click Add a Template for the character sheets and add the one that you want for your game. Those are actually the most important settings for your campaign, and to close the settings pop-up screen, just click away from the window. Creating a character. Add a character. The next step would be to add a character to your campaign. You can create a character at any time, either for a campaign or just for your character vault. To get to your character vault, you would click on this icon on the top left. As you can see, I already have a bunch of characters in my vault, but I'm going to create a new character by clicking this button up here. Every time you create a new character, it's going to ask you which character sheet template you want to use. In the case of our example, we're using Call of Cthulhu 7th edition, so I'm going to click that. This blank character screen will pop up. Name the character by clicking on the name in the center of the screen and typing it in. Making the character claimable or hidden. Before we go any further, let's determine if this character is going to be an NPC that we hide from players, until which time we reveal them, or if they're going to be playable characters that players will be able to claim. To toggle these options, click on the three dots icon on the top right of the character's card and control those toggles there. Character avatars. To choose your character's avatar or portrait, you'll click Add a Character Avatar at the bottom here. Here you have 4 options on how to source your character portrait. The first is to generate one using AI. There are several categories of detail that you can select to narrow it down. And after you select those, you type in a short prompt describing your character's physical appearance. Then you choose an art style and a background. Then click Generate Avatars at the bottom. After about 10 seconds, you will get half a dozen results to choose from. If you don't like any of these, then tweak your settings and click Generate Avatars again. After you've decided on one, click on it and note that you can click the heart icon to add it to your collection of saved avatars, as well as assign it to your current character. Up at the top here, you'll notice that since I clicked the Save button, I have this character in my saved collection. If you click Select up here, you can just choose from hundreds of pre-generated avatars crafted by the Quest Portal team. And of course, you can click the Upload button to upload one of your own. It's worth noting that the avatars which are uploaded will show up in this Upload tab and not in the Saved tab. Think of them as 2 separate collections. Character tokens. As far as what your character's token will look like on a scene or a map, you can adjust that by clicking on the token icon here on the right and then choosing your border and color styles. In most cases, the background color won't matter because the image art will fill up the whole foreground. Once you've made your choice, you don't have to click save or anything, it will just remember your choices. At the time of this recording, Quest Portal offers 2 kinds of character sheets, a universal character sheet and what they call an enhanced Call of Cthulhu sheet, which is optimized for playing Chaosium's Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. This Call of Cthulhu sheet is linked to pre-formulated dice formula that will roll the dice for you when you click on certain parts of the sheet, and you get a success or fail determination automatically. You can right-click and select regular, hard, or extreme depending on the situation of the roll. If you're making a new character and you select anything other than the Call of Cthulhu 7th edition template, you will get a pre-formatted sheet, but it won't have automated dice rollers embedded in them. Make note of the tabs at the top, which allow you to navigate what are essentially different pages of the character sheet. These sheets are highly customizable. You can change the tab names as well as the column and row headers. And you can even add rows to a table by clicking Tab when you're on the bottom right cell of a table. If you need to delete a row, left click on it and select the Delete Row icon. But again, note that with the exception of the Call of Cthulhu enhanced sheet, these sheets are display only and not automatically linked to dice throws. Later in this video, I'll show you how to program dice rolling buttons. You can also design a character sheet template from scratch. When you go to make a new character, select the universal character sheet, and it will open up a completely blank template. To start building out the template, you will left click in the blank space up here and select from the various table creation options. As mentioned earlier, Quest Portal already has dozens, if not hundreds of existing templates, so your best place to start if you want to make a custom template might be to select a template from a game that is similar to what you're shooting for and editing that. After you've made your changes, you can click on the 3 dots icon at the top right and select Create Template. You can even share this template with others by clicking the Share Template button at the bottom here and sending them the link. When they click the link, it will open Quest Portal for them. They do have to have a free account made already, but they'll see your template and can use it to create characters with it. Adding a character to a campaign. Now, we've made a character from the main dashboard, but when we go into a specific campaign, and you do that by selecting your campaign on the left, and then clicking Go to Session, and we go over here to Sheet, which is where all the characters are, we find that the campaign does not have any characters. Now, if we had first gone into the campaign, and then gone to Sheets, and then clicked Add a Character, that character would have been assigned to this campaign automatically. But to add any character to our campaign is pretty straightforward. We're going to click on this skull icon here on the left. This is our character vault. If you have a bunch of characters to sift through, you can click the Not in Campaign filter button to narrow it down. Then click on the 3 dots of the character you're trying to grab and select Add to Campaign. then select the campaign you want to add it to. Then to confirm that you've added it, click on the campaign's icon on the left, then click on sheet on the right, and you'll see all the characters here which have been added to the campaign. In our case, we only have one added. Adding a character token to a scene. To actually get the character's token on the screen, you will need to enter the campaign by clicking on the campaign icon on the left, then clicking Go to Session. Then on the bottom of the right-hand menu, click Tokens. Here at the top, you will see all of the characters added to this campaign. Simply drag and drop the token onto the screen. Left-click it and drag the corner to resize it. 3. Creating scenes. Pre-made scenes. Once you've created a campaign, you will need to select it from the left-hand menu, then click Go to Session in order to open it. After you've done that, you will see a scene deck on the left. By default, there is a concrete background scene with some ambient music playing. You can mute that music if it's playing by clicking the note icon here. Then to add a scene, you would click on the Add a Scene button at the bottom. This will bring up a huge menu of pre-made scenes that actually all have at least one background track that comes with it, as well as usually 1 to 5 alternatives. Inside a home, for example, has 5 alternatives, and when you click Add to Scene Deck, it will appear on your scene deck on the left, and if you hover over the thumbnail, you can actually choose the variants of this map from a drop-down menu. If you want to add variants to this particular scene, you would go back to the scene selector and click Edit at the top right. This will allow you to change the name of the scene, select or upload variant maps for this scene, and also add music of your own, and add or delete tags for faster search in the future. To close this scene selector, click the Scenes button on the right. This is like a drawer that toggles open and close each time you click it. Create your own scene. You can create a scene from scratch by first going into your campaign, then clicking Add a Scene on the bottom left, or by clicking the Scenes button on the right. Then on the top right, click Create a Scene. This will allow you to select or upload images for the scene, as well as enter the name, variants, music playlist, and keywords for your custom scene. When you're done, make sure to click the Save Scene button at the bottom. Organizing scenes. You can create folders by clicking on the Add Folder button at the top of the scene deck, and click on this field where the folder is to rename it. Then drag and drop scenes into the folder so that you can keep things nice and tidy once those scenes start stacking up. 4. Notes. Private notes. You can keep private notes by first selecting the campaign that you want to make notes for, here on the left. Then on the right, you'll see a notes icon. Click on that. At the top of the notes screen, you'll see a plus sign next to private notes, as well as one next to campaign notes. The campaign notes will be viewable to all players. For now, we're making a private note for our eyes only. To edit the note, just click in the typable area to name it, and then click below the title to start typing in whatever you want. Quest Portal's text input areas allow for a very wide variety of data formats, such as heading levels, tables, checkboxes, lists, dividers, callout boxes, etc. Also, if you either click this icon or press the / key, it will call up a list of commands, including several widgets and AI-powered text generator tools if you have a pro account. We'll cover the widgets in a minute, as well as these AI tools in a later section in this video. If you have made notes private and want to make them available for all players to see, just drag and drop the note into the campaign notes section. You will have to confirm that you want to make this note public, and once you do, it will be found under your campaign notes. Be careful not to drop this item into the trash label, because you will lose that note forever if you do. In fact, if you want to play it safer, just click on the 3 dots on the top right of a note and select Move to Private Notes or Move to Campaign Notes. Organizing notes. You can create folders and subfolders for your notes by clicking on the Add Folder button at the top of the Notes Overview column and click on the folder to rename it. And at any time, you can rename the folder by clicking on the 3 dots icon next to it and selecting Rename. Then drag and drop notes or other folders into the folder, like so. You can share or make private entire folders by dragging and dropping them either onto the campaign notes or the private notes label. Again, be careful not to drop your item onto the trash label because you'll lose that folder forever. And again, if you want to play it safe, just use the contextual menu here to move it from one bucket to the other. Notes widgets. When you're editing a note in Quest Portal, you can click this icon or push the / key to call up several widgets. Let's just create one of each of these widgets to see what each of them does. The first widget is a collections table, and you can click on the name to relabel it whatever you want. You can rename all of the column headers as well as all of the row headers and the items. And by default, the final column is actually a dice roller. If you need to change the dice formula, you click on the 3 dots and then select Edit Button Formula. The next widget is a modifier. You can reference this modifier, whatever you define it as, in other dice formulas by its name. So anytime you're editing a dice formula, you will have all of your modifiers available to just insert into that dice formula. The points widget is used to track things like hit points or ammo, and the current and max values are freely editable. You can just click on the number to change it, or use the minus and plus symbols to subtract and add points very quickly. Roll buttons are a way to insert a predefined dice formula so that you can just click on a button and have the dice roll that formula, as we saw above in the collections table. The fact is that you can add these dice roller buttons anywhere in your notes or character sheet. The slots widget is another way to track ammo or spell slots or what have you. They're composed of a name and a number of either empty or full checkboxes. Actually, you can click on the 3 dots icon and enable halves, which will allow you 3 states per checkbox. Linking elements in your notes. Once you have built up a little body of notes for your campaign, you may find that things naturally cross-reference each other, and you might want to interlink or hyperlink different notes with each other. This is done with the @ symbol. Press the @ symbol anywhere in your notes editor, and it will call up the names of all of your existing notes, and you would simply select the note that you want to link to, and that hyperlink will appear in the note. If you want to be really fancy, you can create a hyperlink back to the referring note if you want to. Sharing notes. To share any note, you first have to make sure that it's in the campaign notes section. Then click on the 3 dots icon on the top right, and you can share it to Facebook or Reddit. Obviously, you'll need an account to post to those sites. You can also click the copy link to note and share a link to the note that will display in Quest Portal when somebody clicks on the link. 5. AI Assistant. AI Chat. To open the AI Assistant, first select a campaign on the left, then click on the Assistant icon on the right. Here in this chat, you can ask the assistant rules or setting questions of any sort. The assistant will be keyed to whichever game system you originally chose for this campaign, as long as Quest Portal has the game in its library. In this example here, we had started a Call of Cthulhu campaign, and I might have a question like, who are the Resurrectionists? And you'll get the right answer within a few seconds. Or how about, what is the damage for blunt weapons if you score an extreme success? You'll also notice a number of cross-referenced topics and subjects that you can click on to go deeper into the area of your question. Note that a lot of these links will go to copyrighted material that you will need to purchase through the Quest Portal library. Generate stat blocks. You can use the AI assistant to quickly create nicely formatted monster stat blocks just by asking it to do so. So for example, if I wanted to create a monster with stats and everything, I'd go to the Notes tab, create a new note, and click in an empty area, then click this magical AI assistant icon. I will select Freestyle in this case, and ask it to stat out a low-level undead enemy. Then click Generate. It's naturally going to create monster stats keyed specifically to the rule set that I have selected for this campaign, in this case Call of Cthulhu 7th edition. If I like what it gave me, I can click Keep, or I can try again. In this case, I'll just keep this one. I'll copy and paste the name of the monster into the title for this note. Remember, everything is editable, so if I wanted an interactive monster sheet here, where instead of a dice formula that I can only read, I have a dice formula that I can click on to automatically roll the dice, I would just make a little bit of space and then press the / key, then select Roll button, then enter my dice formula and give it a name and click Save. Then instead of just looking at a formula, I could click on a button, have it roll, and it'll show up in the dice log. Generate descriptions on the fly. I can use the AI assistant to generate descriptions either in the dedicated chat thread or within any note or even any character sheet. In the assistant chat, it's very freeform. You just ask or request anything and it does its best it can within the context of the rule system you've selected for the current campaign. However, if you're in notes or in a character sheet and you click on an editable area and then select the Magic AI assistant icon, you will get that drop-down menu that allows you to focus the AI on a particular task, whether it is a character concept, an encounter, an item, etc. If I wanted to create a terrible secret for one of my NPCs, I could go to the note, click on the AI icon, select secrets, and then maybe type in some details that I want to focus on. After typing out this prompt, I changed the subtitle to huge secret rather than terrible secret, and then I'll hit generate. With secrets, you get anywhere from 5 to 10 possibilities, and you can keep re-rolling by trying again. In this case, I'm just going to click keep, but then I want to take it one step further. To do this, I'm going to copy the secret that I want with Control C, delete the rest of them, then start a new line, go back to the AI assistant, but in this case, I'm going to select freestyle, and then I'm going to ask it to expand on this one secret. And I'm going to actually Control V to paste in the secret that it had come up with a second ago and hit generate. And boom, I have a much more well-realized secret, which of course I can click keep on and then edit as much as I want. Creating loot tables. As a GM, you might need to quickly generate a loot table. The best place to do this would be in notes. To get there, first select the campaign that you want the note to be in, then select notes on the right. You'll want the loot note to be private, so I will click the plus sign next to the private notes section here, and then give it a name, and then click in the editable area, and then select the AI assistant icon, and then let's focus on items. I like to be pretty specific here so that I get exactly what I want. And then I'll press generate, and if I like it, I'll click keep. I'm actually going to select all this text, make it into a numbered list, and then at the very top, I'm going to make a blank line and then select this widgets button. You can also press the / to pull up the widgets. And then I'm going to create a roll button. This is simply to roll on this loot table, and it's a 1d20. Now I'll hit save, and every time I click on this button, it will roll 1d20 for me really quickly so that I don't have to go to the dice tab. It'll just be right there. And then I can cross-reference the result with my loot table here. Creating character or place descriptions. If you want to quickly create a character or place description, you can do so in the notes or in a character sheet if you'd like. In this example, I'll make a location description note that all players can see, which would be a campaign note, by clicking this plus icon. Then I'll give it a name, then click in the editable text area and select the Magic AI assistant icon. Then I will select location from the drop-down, and then type in my prompt. It can be as general or specific as you need it to be. Once I've typed something up, I hit generate. Remember to be as picky as you want by clicking the try again button. I showcased a little technique earlier in the video where I used the AI assistant to expand on any given description. To do that, we would copy the text of the section we would want to expand, then make a new line in that heading, click on the AI assistant again, but this time choose freestyle, ask it to expand on this section, paste in the original description, and then hit generate. You'll get a much deeper entry very quickly this way. Create encounter prompts. If you want to design a unique encounter quickly, you can do so in the notes. In this example, I'll make a note that only I as the GM can see, which would be a private note, by clicking this plus icon. Then I'll give it a name and then click in the editable text area and select the Magic AI assistant icon. Then I will select encounter from the dropdown. Then I would enter whatever salient details I wanted for this encounter. Then click generate. Now the encounter will include a description and potential loot that the PCs could discover after finishing the encounter. So in order to flesh this out a bit, I can click on the next blank line in this node and select the AI assistant icon again, and then this time select freestyle and ask it to generate the stat block for the enemy being encountered. In this case, I want the stat block for a ghoul. One very handy widget you can stick right here in the note is a points bar. Do so by clicking on a blank line and then pressing the / key or this widgets icon. Then select points. Now it just so happens my ghouls have 10 hit points each, so I don't have to change this maximum, but I do want to change the title of the points bar and then duplicate it twice because I have 3 ghouls. Now when I'm running this encounter, I can tick down the hit points as they take damage. Remember, I can also quickly add a dice roller anytime there is a dice formula by clicking one space away from any text, hitting the / button, then clicking the roll button, giving the roller a name, putting in the dice formula, and then hitting save. If you want to design a quick quest, you can do this in the notes. In this example, I'll make a note that only I as the GM can see, which would be a private note by clicking on this plus icon. Then I'll give it a name, then click in the editable area and then click on the AI icon here. Then from the drop-down menu, I would select quest and then give it as many details in the prompt as is desired, and then hit generate. Now this is just the beginning. You're only going to get a general outline of a quest in this way, but remember, you can edit just about anything in the notes. So what I might do next is create a location and NPC descriptions for each one cited in the quest, and those will each be in their own note. Remember, to link to another note, you hit the @ key, and the list of all your notes will be available to link. And finally, when everything's been described and labeled and linked up, I can create a new folder under the private notes and call it whatever I need to call it, and then drag notes and entire folders into that one folder to keep things nice and tidy. That wraps up this Portal Quest tutorial. If you need more help or want to dive deeper into the features, check out the links below for their FAQ and other resources. And don't forget to join the Quest Portal Discord community, where you can find playgroups, get technical support, share creative ideas, and suggest ways to make Quest Portal even better. The community is always growing, and it's a great place to collaborate and get advice. See you there.